Jim Carney was in the commentary box.
Joe Brady, big man, taking that one down for Offaly. Looking for Damien Murray's corner. Good work by young Brian Carroll. And then off his left side going for the score, but yes, he's got it. Good score by Brian Carroll. Now Conal Keeney from the wing. Now Brian Mullen standing under this one again. Well, all very well for Dublin to be putting in high ball that might be dangerous if the full forward line could get it. Oh, it can still be dangerous. Tomas McGrain going for a score. Well, a bit ambitious at that angle. One umpire is not sure. Or is he? Perhaps he was saying to the other, put up the flag. Gary Hannafy switching the play nicely to Brian Carroll, who picked up a good position, went for his point and got it. Brian Carroll, and he's the star turn in the half hour that we've had in this game. Darius Bain letting it run through. Damien Murray getting it on. Stephen Perkins there. Now Joe Erty just hasn't been able to win that personal duel so far anyway with Stephen Perkins. Hit by Michael Carton from way out the field. And the leaving cert student gets a knee for accuracy. And they're level in Croke Park. Conal Keeney's cut shorter than he wanted it to be, but he can make amends here. Now he had 5 chances of scoring one way or another in the first half. Freeze and play Conal Keeney, and he just couldn't hit the target, but he's done it in the second half, only a minute in, and Dublin lead. Shane Martin for Dublin. Now no room there. Tomas McGrain, just his first touch let him down, but he did well to get it at the second attempt. Great run by Tomas McGrain. Would he ever go for a goal? He did! Terrific save by Brian Mullins. Back in and put wide. Oh, that's a terrible miss. Stephen MacDonald of Dublin. But brilliant goalkeeping by Brian Mullins from Burr. You can see why he's keeping Stephen Byrne out of the goal. Now, Tomas McGrain did nothing wrong at the second attempt. Won a good ball. Good attempt. Great save. Gary Hannafy coming to it again, spotting that Brian Wheelahan was free. Brian Carr. Good ball into Michael Cordial, who'd made a great run against Carl Meehan. Great point by Michael Cordial. Well spotted by Brian Carl. Very good play by this young man, who's able to shake off injuries. Now Michael Carton again. He's really making a mark here. Yes! What a mark! Full honours for the leaving cert student. Michael Carton took on Joe Brady. Went for the goal and got it. Well, young Carton is the one man in the Dublin attack now who is taking the game to Offaly. It might not, after all, be over. Stephen Brown for Offaly. Nicely to Michael Cordial. Looking for Neville Coughlin. Well won by Coughlin. Now 3 Dublin men against him. He's going through. And he's got the goal. Neville Coughlin. Neville Coughlin, of course, is a dual player. And he showed it there. What a good substitution that was when Neville Coughlin came in, because he threatened on one run in from the right wing, and he sure threatened here. Great turn, good skill, and he booted the slitter to the corner of the net. 3 Dublin men on him, make that 4. Didn't bother Neville Coughlin. Goal to Offaly, decisive surely. Barry Wheelahan played well at midfield for Offaly, shot a couple of good points. Now he's got another for himself.
Well, we struggled for long periods, and it was a real match that both sides were really afraid to lose, and maybe mistakes were made, and there was little edge in the play. that normally wouldn't be there in championship match when it'd be more free-flowing. Having said that, Dublin have come on in leaps and bounds under Marty Morrison. Future's bright from really. He's come with a smashing brand of hurling, and he's added his name now to the list of contenders for Leinster for the future.
We weren't particularly happy with the performance. We were just delighted just to get out of it. I mean, Dublin hurled very well, and we were very, very lucky to get out in the end. I mean, they had a couple of goal chances, and only for Brian Mullins and the goals, I reckon we were out of the championship.
Cyril, a word of warning here. Last week's comments by Joe Loughnane and Offaly, Mike McNamara described them as tripe. Although tripe is supposed to be quite a nice dish. How do you rate them today?
They did what they had to do, Pat. You know, they weren't that impressive looking, but like, they won by 6 points. Offaly had a hard week, beaten by Wexford by points senior championship, got walloped by Kilkenny, under 21, an Offaly team that was highly fancied in their own county. And today, the main thing was to win. And like, they won with a bit of, you know, a bit extra to spare. And yeah, the likes of Barry Whelan and Rory Hannify putting over lovely points. And Brian Carroll, really, like, he's a beautiful hurler. He got 5 points on play, lovely left hand, it's a lot.
Bit like to meet footballers though, have you a lot of mileage in some of the key players?
There is, I suppose. Brian Whelan's a lot of mileage, but Brian is a cute player, like, he won't do that much running and such. But there's a lot of young lads coming through, like you have Michael Cordial coming through, Neville Coughlin come on. Offaly will still be a force later on. Once they've got over today was a really big match, because if they were caught today, they were gone for the week, and all the under-21s are gone as well. So Mike Mack and his selectors will be actually happy tonight to have that banana skin out of the way. You
were very impressed by young Brian Carroll.
Yeah, he's a beautiful hurler. Reminds me a lot of his dad, Lord Mercy and Paddy. Left-handed completely, like, and he has skill to burn. Everybody got onto Paddy, burned at both cornerbacks. Spain was on him and didn't switch with him, but it didn't matter. Watch this here, just one little flick. When it comes up to him, he knows where the posts are, takes the tackle, turns on. Now he's very favoured on his left side. Once he gets on, you know, his sights and taught, every shot he took, he got a point out of it. Very dangerous all the way through. Here again, now he's going to whip onto a body, a lovely line ball across. Once he gets onto it, there's danger here again. He'll come back now onto his favourite left side. And once he gets the sight and target over the bar. Got 5 of them, Pat. It's a lot from play. Switchboard cornerbacks, but it didn't matter.
A little bit about Dublin hurling for us. Brian Cody said during the week, it won't be long before Dublin will be a major force. I always remember Miko years ago when we used to hammer some poor unfortunates, and Miko would go into the dressing room after and say, keep it up, lads, you're nearly there. And you'd ask Miko after, do you really mean it? And he'd say, yeah, I know, sure, but he keeps them happy. Was Brian Cody keeping Dublin happy, or are Dublin improving?
They are improving, but there's still a big gap. You had Thomas McGrain today getting about 8 points, 7 from frees, keeping him in the game. Young Michael Carton got 1-3, but they do a lot of the hard work, and yet they don't do the simple things well. There is a big gap, and you know, they're improving a small bit, but like, still, it's hard to see them bridging the gap with the Kilkenny, Wexford and Offaly.
We saw Limerick footballers closing the gap. How can Dublin hurlers close that gap?
Well, the only way they can keep them, as far as I'd be concerned, Pat, would be to get about 30 fellas or so and work on them all the time, even winning or losing. Now, Dublin are finished now in the championship. But I think Marty Morris should hold on to that panel and keep working over these summer months and keep working into the new year all the time, not to break it all.
So is the qualifiers of little benefit to Dublin, so? Or the other weaker counties?
It gives you extra games, but really, Pat, the way the qualifiers are now at the moment, it suits the strong teams. You look at the likes of Clare. They've played Cork, they've played Tipperary, and they've played Galway, and now they're out. It doesn't make sense, really.
Well, just one match left to report on now, and that's yesterday evening.